of the people.
What's up? Shout out to Neutral Voices Media Group. Hey, y'all, we need y'all.
Bridge the gulf between the haves and the have-nots.
Your voice matters.
Big shout out to Neutral Voices for
I'd like to give a shout out to Neutral Voices.
Neutral Voices podcast.
Your voice matters.
Your voice matters.
America's opportunity.
Neutral Voices Media Group. Your voice matters.
Welcome to Voice of the People, and I am your host, C Stats. And we got some voices in the building that are making noise in the community. They're trying to do some things differently in the community. I'm gonna let them introduce themselves, and then we're gonna go a little forward. And this is Voice of the People, presented by our Neutral Voices. Mr. Reid, introduce yourself to the people, and then we'll go down the line. Everybody introduce themselves.
My name is Reid Paris. The director of a program here in town called Building Kings Mentoring Group.
My name is Reid Paris. I'm one of the junior mentors in the program called Building Kings Mentoring Group.
How y'all doing? I'm Connor May, one of the junior mentors in Building Kings Mentoring Group.
All right. Now, Mr. Reid, you've been here before, but I was not in the building when he was here before. So as I missed it, somebody else may have missed it. Tell us a little bit about Building Kings.
Building Kings, we're a local nonprofit organization, 501c3. We started about 2 years ago. We help mentor young boys who may need extra guidance and, help dealing with the mindset. So, we take pride in being an extension to the family. We understand that a lot of boys may come from, backgrounds, rough backgrounds or backgrounds where they may not have a father or a male figure around to help do certain things with them. So we take pride in being that for them. We offer various different things, like I said, dealing with the mindset. We help open up the mind, help them think about a lot of different ways to think about certain situations that they may find themselves in. We offer different tools, just different things to help them navigate through life, in a better way and become, the best ideal citizen that they can be, and we also offer exposure. So another part of our program is we understand that, a lot of the youth, they may not be exposed to different types of career paths. Right. People around them may only hold maybe traditional types of jobs or careers, and they may not be exposed to things like being a doctor or a dentist or firefighter or policeman, things like that. So another aspect of our program is we try to get them that type of exposure, working with different organizations in the community, and, they'll host us out, and we'll get them, to get that type of exposure.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Now, tell me how Building Kings came about. What was the mindset? Who was in the room? What was the idea that said, okay, let's jump this off?
It was my partner. His name's Brandon. We started 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago. We were sitting back and we were kind of thinking like, our sons at the time were about 17 years old. And, me personally, my son was kind of going off into a familiar path for me, kind of seeing some of the things that me and my homeboys growing up, that things that we were getting involved in and things that we value. So we sat back and we thought, like, how can we fix this now? What can we do? How can we start to guide them in a different way? We asked ourselves a few questions like, what's some of the things it would have taken for us when we were that age,
Right.
And for me personally, it was, joining different gangs and things like that. And not necessarily to do bad things, but it was about having that fit in, having that, we like to call each other brothers, and, we ride with each other and things like that. But it's really that sense of belonging. So, that was one of the questions we asked when we was starting the program. And, that's kind of what we offer. We offer, that sense of belonging, that family, that uncle, that big brother, that person you can be around and look up to and feel like you're a part of something in a positive light. Another one of the things is this was led to the exposure part is we like to make money when we young.
Right.
You know, we want to think of ways to try to make fast money.
Right.
But we want to make money. And, you know, a lot of times it leads to the wrong type of ways to make money because we don't necessarily know different ways. So that's where the exposure came in. And, you know, being young, you may look up to people in the community like the drug dealers or, you know, the people that's just doing the negative things to get their money. So that's why we start to offer the exposure part, to show them that there's ways you can make money, have careers that have surpassed a lot of those guys that you may see, you know, who have that temporary income, you know. So, and also for me, I lost my younger brother at the age of 17. He was 17 years old, killed here in Fort Wayne.
That's sorry to hear that.
Through gun violence. So, you know, as my son was that same age, it was kind of like, nah,
Did
not
the light
again.
switch came on?
You know, not again, you know, because, you know, part of me felt like I was his keeper.
Right.
And, you know, I kind of let him down. So, you know, I took this to heart. I take this program to heart, and I told myself, made a promise to me and him that I would help as many young boys as I can. So it started off with me and Brandon, and we're working with our son. We brought in some other boys. We're a lot smaller at the time, but you know, these are two of the beginning. They was there since the beginning, but you know, we started to grow. We took a pause and we came back. Got a lot more mentors on board and a lot more boys on board, and we just been rolling ever since.
That's good. Now, Mr. Rashawn, last name Paris, are you the 17-year-old he was talking about?
Yes.
Okay. Now, you mentioned that you're a junior mentor. Tell us about that. You've been in the program.
Yes, being a junior mentor is like a big spot for me because it's like everybody under me, and it could be people next to me like Connor too. They still also look up to me. And it's like the things that I'm doing could get them a different exposure too. Also just being like knowing auto collision and being like in landscaping in that field, it'll get like them exposure to things they want to do, like different career paths. So I know most of the young mentors I bring around, like Jackie and Jordan, them two of the twins that have been in the program for a while, I bring them around and try to get them to like expose different things instead of just being in that situation where they ain't know nothing and thinking it's like traditional jobs out there.
Right. And that's true. And Connor, you're in the program. You've been there since the start as well?
Yes, sir.
Now, how old are you, Connor?
16.
Okay. Tell us about your experience with Building Kings.
My experience is like my mom, she brought me in. I've been on Reid since I was like a kid. He brought me in, and ever since then, it's been really good for me. As a junior mentor, I have to always like watch over what I'm doing. Like even when no one is watching, even when I think no one is watching, someone is always watching. And like with me being in a big part of the community and with us expanding, I always have to like think about my next move and think about the move that I make and think how this can impact Reid's brand and things like that. Yes. So always just like the little ones that's there. Just trying to not fix their mind, but like help their thinking. Like with me being older, I've seen things that they aged before. Right. And tried to go down those paths, and with them trying to do that, I can tell them like that's not the way you got to do it. Like you can go do it in any other way. You can go do it. You don't need to always play football. Like me, I'll play football, but like you don't need to play football to make millions. You can go be a doctor and get pre-practice and things like that.
Right. You know, and I'm gonna tell you this real quick. Then I'm gonna get back to Mr. Reid. Is that no? People don't understand you can use your sport to be a catalyst to do anything. Right. I have two cousins. One played basketball. He's passed. But his name was Eugene Parker. He was one of the biggest black sports agents in the country. He represented a lot of football players throughout the country. He knew he got drafted to the NBA early 80s, but he didn't make it. So he transitioned. He became a lawyer. He became a sports agent. Look him up. He was one of the biggest sports agents in the country, not only in Fort Wayne, but in the country. And then we had my young cousin on here the other day, Jalen Smith. And, you know, he's still in the NFL, but he used his transition to go into other business ventures. Yeah. So like you say, you can do the sport, but learn from beyond it. Let it be a tool for you. But Mr. Reid, I want to commend you, first of all, because I heard something come from Mr. Connor, is that obviously what you're doing is working, because one of the things he said is he respects you, he respects your brand. So his movement has to be within line with what you're trying to do. So tell us what you're teaching the young men.
We teach them a lot of things. One of our biggest things that we teach the young men is about accountability. We teach them just help each other. You know what I'm saying? Help each other grow. But that accountability part, that's big. We teach them if you've done something, you need to hold yourself accountable, bring it to the forefront. One thing we do in our groups is we, at the beginning of each of our groups, will bring the young men, or they'll raise their hand if they got things going on or something they need to be held accountable for. And it's crazy how honest a lot of them are with certain things that they may done, or the parent may reach out and say, hey, this been going on this week. I think can y'all help address that? So we'll bring them to the forefront, and that's where the mentors and also the junior mentors and the other members, everybody get to just talk to that young man about what the decisions he made, the better decisions that they could have made, and things like that, and we just teach them about, we got various different topics. So each week we usually do a different topic. So that's good. Yeah, it's a lot of them. Each of them are hosted by either outside speakers or our mentors ourselves. So, we can go into a range of different things.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. But, Now, Rashawn, you were speaking. Now, at 17, you were in the midst of possibly going down the wrong path.
Yeah.
But your dad said no. I understand what change, and when you do something different, people think that you're different, or they. I know you lost friends.
Definitely.
I know you had to cut people off. Talk about that transition in your life.
Well, with that losing friends, like it was heavy on that, because like a lot of friends that I was knowing, they wasn't going down like the right path. Like my dad said, they was either getting involved in the police situation or jail or guns or drugs. So I had to pick and choose like how to do things and do things the right way. I just had to stay away from like them type of people, who keeping my distance away from the type of people, and just hang around people I want to see do better for me and my family, So, and then most of them wasn't like trying to pursue any career paths or anything. So for the long run, I just had to stay away from the friends, and that's when I really just got close to everybody who was doing the right things, like the legit way, and staying focused. And really, them type of friends, they really just bring you down and make you think like you know what you're doing. But even if they're around doing things that you don't, it'll just bring you down. Like it'll feel like you're doing nothing to bring yourself up. You're just gonna be trapped in that circle.
Right. And that's sometimes hard for us, is to cut people off or cut ties with people, because, when you build those relationships, you intend for them to be lifelong or whatever, but sometimes you have to know when to say, all right, we can be friends, but we can't hang out. Trust me, I got friends my age that, still, we're friends, but we hang out at certain times, because some people don't learn. So I'm going to tell you this, some people never grow up. Some of the things that they've been doing, or you see them doing in high school and everything, give them 15, 20 years. Guess what they're going to be doing?
Same thing.
The same thing. And with that being said, you said you're in high school, Mr. Connor?
Yes, sir.
Now, even being in high school, and I love how you say you have to gauge how you walk for the brand. But not only for the brand, think about, you say your mother brought you to the program. What made your mother bring you to the program? Were you in trouble, or did she just find a good program for you to fit in?
A little bit of both. And also she worked with Reid for the longest, and that's how I met Rashawn. Me and him been friends since we was in elementary school and things like that. So she knowing how he handles himself and carries himself, why not involve my son with that type of person and bringing him in his life, and so he can learn how to grow up and be a man type. Yeah.
And that's what we need. And Mr. Reid, a lot of times, and I appreciate you bringing your son and then taking him out of the street, because think about it. If I'm a hustler, if I'm a drug dealer, 9 times out of 10, I am going to train my child to do what I do. Except for in legitimate business. You see a lot of times, businesses go, but I teach my son to be a hustler. I commend you, first of all, but tell us some of the trades or some of the things, because I saw y'all at, was it Greenwich Ridge, or y'all were building at a building site? Y'all went to see I saw it on Facebook. I think it was Rod, but y'all went to a home builder site or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, so that's one of the things we've done. We actually taking them out on a real estate trip, learn about real estate. Up soon, we're gonna be visiting the automotive shop, learn about that. We've been to dentist's office, aviation, Smithfield Aviation, Sweetwater, learned about the music industry and instruments. A number of different things we've done with them, and we do outings with them as well. So every so often we'll get them out and just try to bond with them and let them bond with each other. And we learn that even when they come in the door and they may be a little timid because some of them may be strangers to them. Once we get out and we get in these type of outings where they get to see everybody at their their chill space, they come back to the group, and now you see more hands go up.
Right.
You see them volunteering more to speak. So you could tell that those type of outings, it gives them a level of comfort, that is necessary. Right. So but we got more things coming up. We're gonna be working with trying to get them to a doctor's office and several other things, just to try to provide whatever type of exposure we can. And we're open to people, organizations from the community that may want to host the boys and give them insight on that type of career path, like anything, anything outside of the box that we can help them with. I know earlier on in the group, we had a boy that was, one of the things he really wanted to do was clean solar panels, and that's something that he thought of and said, and I never thought of that. We never thought of that or heard of that. And we looked it up, and it's actually good money in cleaning solar panels. So it's like, whatever type of exposure that we can get them, to think outside the box and be a part of construction, plumbing, the trades as well. So careers, the trades, we even visited a manufacturing plant, so just helping them be exposed to different things.
Yeah, I commend you on that, because we talked about this last night, that sometimes we only believe in traditional jobs. If our child say they want to be something outside of our thinking, we want to tell them that they can't be. So I commend you for saying, okay, you want to do this? Let's find out what it takes for you to do this, and encourage him to do that. So that's a good thing. Now, what is your age group, and how do if I had a son, how would I get my son or my young man involved with Building Kings? What is your age group? Where do you meet, and how often do you meet?
So we do our best. Answer that part first. We do our best to meet weekly. Let something come up. We usually gonna have something going on every week. Usually on Saturdays. Okay. Let something come up through the week where we host it through the week. Something we can do then. Our age group that we promote is 12 to 18. Sometimes we go younger. Yeah. So it started because we mothers come in, and it's hard to turn down a mother who really needs her young man to be around a male presence. So they see a lot of what we may have going on, or things we post, and they'll reach out to us through Facebook mostly. We have Instagram and other platforms, but our main one we're using right now currently is the Facebook platform. So we get a lot of our young men that come in through like Messenger, because they see what's going on, they write the page, and then we get back with them in a timely manner, and we'll host an enrollment meeting, or we'll meet with them individually, just depend on how many we got waiting, so like if you want to get your son in, that's probably the easiest, quickest way. Okay. Also, our phone numbers are out there for our mentors, and can reach out to any of us at any time. Yeah.
So tell me how I could become a mentor. What would the requirement for me to be a mentor?
Well, to get to us, it'd be similar as as if you had a young man you want to bring, but we do a light, maybe background, just to check for certain things.
Right.
So,
there's certain things you can't have around.
Yeah, certain things that you just can't accept. So we check lightly for that. Just a small little vetting process, but we usually have our existing mentors, as many as can show up. So you might be surrounded by a bunch of men, and we're gonna be asking questions, and we're gonna try to get down to the bottom of why it is that you want to be a mentor to the young boys. What's your agenda? What's your cause? What's your purpose? What do you stand for?
Right.
So, because we protect them. The mothers trust us with their young men, and we want to make sure that we bringing men around that who can be trusted. So,
that's good. Now, Mr. Rashad, Mr. Connor, one can go. Just tell me something pertinent or something important that you've learned or been instilled in you since you've been with Building Kings.
Something important that I learned from sticking to Building Kings is, one, being accountable to any situation, like holding yourself accountable, and then just learning how to stick to more than one trade. Like, I like being in different fields, so basically I'll stick to auto collision, painting, and landscaping, and then working on cars. And then if I get any more exposure, I want to get into, like, right now I'm creating content and my content be pushing. So, and then if it's like anything else I want to do, like drywall or power washing, I can get into that too.
Yeah, so you learning the skills. You trying to be an entrepreneur. You trying to work for yourself, and that's good. That's good. That's good. Mr. Connor?
For me, it's helped me like understand it's okay to be different and stick out the box. Like growing up, as you hear, my name is Connor. Mm-hmm. As a kid, I used to be sad because like everybody's name was Sean, things like that. And people used to say I have a white name, so I used to like be sad, and like I used to feel picked on. But like as I got older and got bigger and things like that, I started to embrace who I was. I was never the skinny kid, the stickish kid. But as I got older and now, like when I got into high school, started lifting weights, it helped me embrace who I am. Like now I'm not ashamed to, I'll be honest, I'm not ashamed to walk around the house with my shirt off and things like that. I'm okay with who God created me to be and how to walk with that purpose with my heart.
Yeah. Man, this program sounds amazing. It really does. I want to know more about it. I might have to, if it's on Saturdays, I have a free Saturday, I might have to come check y'all out to see what's going on. Now, can you tell me some of your mentors? Or now, I know one, and I'm going to tell you because I was just with him yesterday, and it was Reid Paris. Is he still a mentor for y'all? Or he was at one point, correct?
He was at one point.
Okay. Well, one of the things that he said, and I want to know about y'all mentors as well, is that sometimes you got to be open and honest to let people know that you've fallen to help direct people. Do you preach that, or do you teach that with your mentors? I know there's something you can't reveal, but as much as to say you don't have to go that way, how do your mentors share their story with your people?
Well, first I take pride in saying that our mentors, we mentor each other as well. We sharpen each other as well as sharpening the boys. So, you can't do nothing out of line with us, and it's going to get addressed. We got group chat, group messages, multiple different group messages that we conversate through. And we hold each other down in all type of ways. Like if somebody's going through anything, maybe it's with a wife or a situation that they may have going on at home or whatever, we talk about it. We offer advice. So we're like brothers. Real brothers, and we all come from different places. A lot of us didn't know each other before, and we got this bond now, and it's strong, and we exemplify that to the boys. When we show them, we take pride in showing them that unity amongst us, that accountability that we hold each other to, and that's how we push towards the boys. So we want to be the models of what we're preaching. So we show them by example.
Yeah. So. Now, I'm going to give you a chance to help yourself out. Now, I know with every program, you need some kind of funding. Yeah. You need some kind of help. Tell the people how they can help, how they can back you, how they can fund, how they can donate, either time or finances, whatever you need. Tell the people what you need, and tell them how they can donate to you.
So there's multiple different ways. On our Facebook page, we have a link directly at the top that directly for donations. It goes to account to help with the donations. We got a Cash App, Building Kings 260. Then you can reach out to me or one of the mentors, and we'll direct you to how to help us out. Like I said, we are a 501c3 organization, so we're open to the different help, even simple things like helping if it's your mother or something and you want to help because it's been offered. Just help out with cooking up something for, you know, one of the groups or something like that, or, you know, any type of way that you can help. We look at it as you helping these young men. You helping
he
these
try
young,
to eat.
yeah,
Good eats. Good
you helping
eats.
these young men out. So, you know, any type of way or anything that anyone is willing to offer, and we accept it.
The one thing I didn't get, where do you meet? And what is your time frame of meeting?
We meet Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. We meet at the Dream Center right now. We're currently meeting at the Dream Center. Well, we have been meeting at the Dream Center since the beginning. But that's our meeting location. Only time that time differs is if we're taking like a trip, or outing. We may ask them to be there a little earlier so that we can get to the place that we're hosted at by 10. And then, like this Saturday, we have a group coming up to where we're gonna have gym. So that's the only time they really extended. Right after the group, we go across the street to the Family Life Center. We've been working with them, so we got that gym space. That's the old Fort YMCA for anybody that didn't know. And we go over there and we just let the boys play ball. We might do dodgeball. We do different things just to help, you know, just keep that bond going. I will say this Saturday, if you didn't see the flyer, we're having an understanding gun violence session. So, you know, we with everything that's been going on in the community, we understand.
It's needed.
Yeah, it's real needed right now. So we're going to have that session this Saturday at the Dream Center, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And then we'll have the gym right after. And that's for not just our enrolled teams. Usually our groups are for our enrolled teams. But this one, we opened it up for whoever from the community that may have a young man that they feel like may need to be involved or hear some of what we got going on there. So ideally, we're going to have the guest speakers that's there, people that can come in and speak, whether it be a victim or a mother that's a victim from gun violence, had a kid that lost a kid in gun violence, or an officer, or, you know, detention center. You know, we just have people, different parts of our community come out and speak, and, you know, just try to get some enlightenment on what's going on, because I'll talk on this a little bit more.
Go ahead.
Because right now, it's like it's a game. You know, it's like they playing Call of Duty. Like they're going to have extra lives. And, you know, we see that, and it all seemed like fun and games till you see a young man losing his life through death and a young man losing his life through going to jail. And they've been catching everybody, you know, so, and you see them, it's a game until they get into that courtroom, and now it's a cry session.
It's real.
So we want to catch them before it gets to all of that. So that's why we work hard on trying to help with the mindset, because that's where it starts. Along with the parents, you know, it starts in getting up here, you know.
And it's sad that, you know, it is like that, because the young man that lost his life downtown, but then to come to find out like a 15 or 16-year-old was implicated in that, and they charged him as an adult. So it's not like, you know, you're a juvenile, so you'll get till you 18 or 21. No, this is you 15, and you looking at the rest of your life.
We're grown men.
Yeah. So there has to be a change, and I'm gonna again commend you for the Building King project, and I'm gonna have to sit in one time. I just want to physically see how it is, and because it sounds amazing. I commend you all, and I commend you young men for sticking with it. You know, a lot of young people get into something, then when it ain't what they wanted, or they don't think it's the cool thing, they fade away. But I want to encourage y'all to stick with it. Yes, sir.
Can I speak on that?
Yes, go.
Like, I agree with you saying, like, how us young men, like especially young black men, will start something, and when we realize it's not the cool thing or it's not the popping thing, we'll be like, no, I'm not doing that no more. And I feel like that's what we got to change as going into that preteen, going up all the way to 18. We got to change that. Even if your homeboys not doing it, this is something that you could change in your life, and you can help them. Like, luckily, I already have friends that was already in the group, like me, Rashawn, Jordan, Jackie, TJ. They're not here right now, but like I already knew them, and like our friendship grew, and like we'll go to school. Me and TJ will go to school, and we'll just spread that, like how we go to this, and it's brought other people in just by what we talking about.
Yes.
And then when they get there, you'll realize you have to actually it's not always gonna be what you want by one time going. You gotta understand. You actually have to have eyes and ears open to see and understand what's going on and talk about it. You can't just sit there and pout and act like you don't want to be there, because when you act like you don't want to be somewhere, you're not gonna understand the word. That's like when you go to church. If you just sitting there falling asleep, somebody asks you what he was talking about, you're not gonna understand. You're just gonna be understanding God was in the building, and you're not gonna understand what was going on.
Right.
So as young men, we gotta stop, be outside the box. We don't have to stay in the house and tuck our tails. Let's get outside and let's be part of our community in a good way, not a bad way. Let's stop taking people's life in a bad way. Like, let's give life. Let's bring life in to a peaceful world. And I feel like that's what got to change.
Amen. You're doing a great job. Y'all doing a great job. And whoever your mom is, I know she's doing a wonderful job.
Yeah,
because as you articulate, as you speak, your mom is doing a wonderful job.
Yeah,
I want to commend her.
Yeah,
he got
Mom.
one of those. He got one of those moms that she don't play, and she gonna make sure he's involved, and she ain't gonna let him slip.
Yeah, she definitely. Mom, I appreciate you, everything that you did done. I appreciate you. One thing that like another thing, we gotta learn how to code switch. Now, like you don't have to always be that inside what you were taught.
Right.
Like, stick by your morals and values, but you don't need to always come out the house with your pants sagging. Sometimes,
Yes.
she was talking about me this yesterday. I ain't want to wear a pair of cargo shorts. I didn't wear them, but she was telling me like how I got to the places I got by our code switching, like being different.
Right.
And like she'll say, be sometimes I have to be my name.
Right.
I can't be the names that's in my community. I have to be the name that's out of my community.
Right.
And that's by just code switching, simple. Like it, and that's how you're gonna get far. That's how you get to the Fortune 500 companies and things like that. Just by staying who you are, but also not being scared to add to it and caring what other people think. Sometimes you gotta stop caring what people think and just do what you do.
Man, I want to give your mama a round of applause right there. Man. And that is true. I was speaking about that before we came on. You don't have to take your neighborhood, all that with you, no matter where you go. There's sometimes you got to leave that behind to move forward. Yeah. But some of us, I mean, even look at some of the athletes and some of the people that, like rappers and stuff, they think they got to keep that neighborhood connection. Right. Sometimes to move forward, you got to let some, as Rashawn said, sometimes you just got to let some of those things go.
You got to let them go to move forward. Yes. Like, sometimes you got to cut those day ones off for the win. Like, you're not going to be able to, even if they started with you, they're not going to always end with you. And that's just for the better of yourself and eventually for your family. You can't keep people that's not if they not doing what you doing and trying to push you to be better, and you pushing them to be better, like iron sharper iron, then it's not gonna work out. You might as well let them know that now, and just, when I see you, I'm gonna speak, but it's not gonna be the same. We kicking it like we used to kick it. I gotta push forward because you bringing other things in my life that I can't afford right now.
Right. And you sure you only 16?
I was gonna say, junior mentor. He promoted to mentor about 3 hours. But I want to say, I know we get short on time.
No,
so one thing I want to address is, man, we need the men from the community to come out of their shells. One thing we see a lot is a lot of people come in what we're doing, and us for having the courage to do what we're doing, but they don't know how to do it, or they don't feel like they're at a place where they're ready to step into it. And we need those men to get off the fence and actually come out and start pouring into this younger generations, because a lot of us point the fingers when things happen, but it's things that we together can help prevent happen. So we need more men. At Building Kings, we want to work with everybody, every organization. We don't get boys in and say these are our boys. We keeping them. We want to filter them through everything that's existing and everything that's going on. We're working on making a lot of different partnerships right now, and our biggest thing is just helping the community. So we need the men. We need the men to step up. We know a lot of people may have backgrounds or things that they may feel like they're not able to be a mentor. That's where I say our group of mentors, how we work to sharpen each other. I mean, we can work with them, and we can help each other become better men so that we can be those examples for these young men. So that's my call out to the community is just stop watching and come out and help.
Right.
You know?
Right. Oh man, you just said a whole lot. And it is time for us to make a change. We got to be the change we want to see.
Yes, sir.
Building Kings is trying to make changes in young men's lives. If you're a man out there, you got a career, you got a business, you got something that can help enrich these young men. Reach out to Mr. Reid. Get in touch with him that he can know that he can bring them to your business. He can bring them to your environment, that these kids can get exposures to different things. We want to thank you, Building Kings. And this is not the last time we're going to have y'all on here. We're going to have y'all on here again. You can bring these two fellas or you can bring some more, with their experience. But we're going to have you back again. Yeah, bring some mentors, yeah. And as you grow, if you need to come and promote something, let us know. We'll bring you on to have you promote whatever you're doing, be it an event or whatever. Let us know. We'll bring you on to promote that as well. But we want to thank each and every one of you. Want to thank Mr. Reid, Mr. Rashawn, and Mr. Connor for joining us tonight. And thank you for watching us. And as he said, men, he gave you the clarion call. Stand up, come out, help out, be about your community. And as we always say, before we leave our people, always protect your mind.
A podcast by Neutral Voices Media Group. Voice of the people. What's up? Shout out to Neutral Voices Media Group. Hey, y'all, we need to
Bridge the gulf between the haves and the have-nots.
Your voice matters.
Big shout out to Neutral Voices for
I'd like to give a shout out to Neutral Voice.
Neutral Voices podcast.
Your voice matters. Your voice matters.
America's opportunity.
Neutral Voices Media Group. Your voice matters.